My husband, Richard, was very good about seeing his doctor annually. And so it was just one annual physical that turned dark in terms of he found a swollen lymph node at the base of my husband's neck. And from there, that started a journey on cancer. And that took us all the way through from meeting oncologists and surgeons and nurses, right down to hospice care workers who carried us through the end of that journey. Richard and I had twins in January of 2009. We had a boy and a girl, Natalie St. Marie and Noah Richard. And we are very appreciative of the fact that so many people at Altru supported us and were so excited for us as part of that journey. Natalie is much like her dad in terms of she is a thinker to the nth degree. And she is very kind and considerate of everyone around her, which are certainly some of the traits that initially attracted me to Richard. Noah is much like me in terms of he's very intense and he's very emotional and definitely wears his heart on his sleeve. It was absolutely the right decision. I am incredibly, incredibly thankful that in those last moments, I was in my home, the place that Richard and I were the most comfortable, the place where we could make other people comfortable that wanted to be with us. And they did hospice, I'm saying hospice did that so fluently and so effortlessly that them coming into my home, I almost felt as though they had been there the whole time. We were confident from the very beginning, and each step of the way through that process, which was very difficult in lots of ways, never for a moment did we ever question that we weren't in the right place getting the right care. I would actually have to say, and I think this is a testament to Altru, that those people that cared for us during that time, those are people that I feel like when I run into them on the street, I know them and they know me. And it's not just a formal, hi, how are you? It's a hug. It's a, how have you been? They ask about my children. They ask about me. And that means a lot. So these people aren't just medical professionals. They have been people that have played a very crucial role in our lives. After my husband passed away, I had to redefine my life without him, which was hard because I wasn't interested in redefining my life. But I had to think really hard about what it was I wanted to do. And one of the few conversations my husband and I had at the very end of his life was he asked me very bluntly, well, what do you want to do with your career after I'm gone? And I kept thinking, why are you even asking me this question? I can't fathom what my life will be like without you. So I don't know. And his advice was very succinct, which was, this is your chance to do something greater. And don't settle. And I kept coming back to this issue of the people that had touched our lives. And certainly lots of doctors touched our lives, but many, many nurses touched our lives. And I kept feeling like I want to pay that forward. I want to be a person like that in someone else's life. When they get any kind of diagnosis, that they have the kind of support and knowledge and direction and capacity to help. And so with that, I decided to return to school and become a nurse myself. So really, I credit many, many people at Altru that inspired me to go down that path. I believe Altru contributes significantly to the strength of the Grand Forks community. And without them, we become significantly weaker. A strength of a community means that we can provide core resources that are accessible, and I believe the key is to be accessible to anyone. And I believe Altru is that. And they're not only accessible just to whether or not you live in Grand Forks or East Grand Forks, but if you live in Thief River, if you live in Roseau, if you live in Devil's Lake. I think that kind of access is important. And I think the fact that they're a nonprofit healthcare organization means that they focus on delivery of care and not the profitability of care, regardless of whether you can pay, regardless of the quality of health insurance that you have, that they play that role first and foremost in terms of making sure care is accessible. And without that, we just don't have a community. We just don't. You have to give them a chance. You have to give them a chance. And I think when given a chance, people will be incredibly impressed at the experience they can have. I believe Altru is an outstanding organization, and I would consider myself very fortunate to be a nurse there.